Okay, black sash training, we're doing the applications from the form. So I think we'll, which should we do? Let's, we did just one class on that, on the word. Okay, let's do that one again. I wanted to kind of jump to the new ones we covered today because there are applications for, there are applications for all of them, but there are official applications for ward off, pull back, press, and push.
How many are for the actual official?
There's the official 21 required for black sash. So I think ward off right, ward off left counts as the first one though. And then I think the second ward off right, pull back, press, and push all counts as the second one. But most of them are
like together, like interesting.
Because they're connected.
Yeah.
So the way we do the applications is sort of we just take the move from the form and one person sort of acts out the attack and the other person does the self-defense move. Since we can't do physical contact, what we're doing is we're using pads, so each person will have a pad that they're touching and like attack the other person, but we won't make contact with the same parts of the pad. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so, and just, I'll just say this, we're sort of figuring it out, so if you're not, everyone has different levels of comfort with contact and stuff, so if you're not comfortable with anything, you can say, I don't want to do that, and no judgment, no problem, we'll figure out another way to work with it, okay? So, what we're doing is the application for the first ward off right and ward off left. But I'm going to take it back to just ward off right. Okay, so what happens is, will you demonstrate like imaginary with me? Okay, so just the ward off right is someone punches and basically I come up and would hit, just meet their hand, right? And I turn with them and their punch would sort of follow through and that's the ward off right. So you kind of have to learn the attacker part and the application part. So just do it imaginary like this again. We would meet here, and we would turn. And from when we touch, her punch keeps coming in and I sort of rotate with the punch. Does that make sense? Okay. So if y'all will be partners and then just kind of try that acting out, we'll do that first and then we'll bring the pads in second. Okay? So yeah, you two will be partners. And then we'll start, actually let's orient it like the form so we can connect it. So whoever's doing the application first, like Ms. Byrne, will you do the application first? Okay, so you'll stand right here facing the front because you're going to do the ward off right. And then Ms. Croft come up here and face her there. Okay, yeah. So just going to pretend, I'll do your part with you first. So you're just going to sort of step in with the right foot and pretend to do a right punch. And then she's going to bring her arm up and imagine that she turns and your punch will just go through. So just try it a couple times. Yeah, cool. Oh, and then here's another thing. Yes, ma'am, question?
So I guess when she wards off, like, would I go that way?
So in general, the way it would work would be you would punch very slowly, but not to miss her. You would punch to actually go through the face. But what normally would happen is she would meet and you would have enough time to turn and you would feel your intention to go forward to deflect it off, right? But we have to play act that a little bit right now. So you're gonna punch like you would go straight towards her face, but then her arm comes up and you imagine it contacting and as it turns, you imagine it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I've never punched anybody before.
That's
so,
good.
I mean, I don't know if I'm doing this correct.
No, that's very good. I totally get it and I came into this class in that same state. So you know.
So you normal punch.
Yeah.
You just go
Yeah.
punch.
There you go.
And then
Yeah.
pretend I blocked you, so you end up more away from me.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
It's odd if you've never gone that punch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, good.
So pretend I nudge you, so kind of your hand kind of like your fist went like right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that was it. Slow it all down just a little bit, but that was very good. Good. Let's try a few more and then switch places. One more. Okay, any other questions so far? All right, now rotate. And do the same sort of play it out.
Okay. Well, now I have to remember what.
Yeah, now I get that. Okay, so your part is just going to be, the right arm's going to come up, and turn and pivot on that right here. Exactly. Yeah. Nice and slow. Good. A few more. Yeah. Nice. And okay, release. Questions, comments, suggestions? Okay, so now we're going to introduce the same thing but with some real contact. But what if we could use these? Just have these on our hands. Let's see, how would that work? I would come in with one. You'd have to use your arm. What's that? Like these?
No, no, those ones.
Oh, these?
Because I can actually catch the wrist.
Oh, yeah.
Because you feel that pressure.
Yeah, because you could have it on your arm
Uh-huh.
to block and turn with. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. All right, this is an experiment. So you each get these, one on each hand. Oh yeah, actually, the person attacking needs two, but the person doing the move just needs one. So I'll let you do the move first, and I'll let you attack first. So put them on.
I don't know.
We have all this.
Probably can do one and-
Oh, you're right, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
think
Yeah,
I'm
just
going
one is
right
good,
now.
just one is good, sorry. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, so now you're gonna do, it's gonna be a giant open-handed punch, like a clown attack or something, with a big glove, I don't know. So yeah, so just come in nice and slow, like you're coming towards her, and she's gonna ward off. Yep,
I actually count on the other way.
yeah, exactly, straight towards her. Come up, yep. Just play with that. Yeah. Okay. Two more. Yeah, okay, any questions? Does it feel funny?
A little weird, but
Yeah.
Yes, this is very big.
Yeah, it's like way too big for the punch. And then I think, part of the way it works is learning that, feeling it on your skin and training the sensitivity of feeling it and reacting with it. So that part's still absent, but at least we're training sort of the gross motion of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
that's
Right.
maybe next class I'll bring my gloves and spark gloves.
Uh-huh.
And I would cover at least,
Did that go back far enough?
that's about to here.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, all right, switch. Now, oh, yeah, okay, so now the same thing, she's gonna come up to meet the punch, and then see if she's gonna keep pushing through and see if you can feel that push turn you. Does that make sense? So that's how, yeah. Good.
Should we give a little resistance?
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit. Good, yeah. Yeah, there we get some good rotation. Uh-huh. And one more. Okay, any questions on that? No? Besides like, what is this craziness that we've never done before? So, let's see, what have I said? So I've mentioned that that ideally you would feel, right here, you would feel the punch and react, and it would train from the skin through the nervous system inward. And Tai Chi is interesting because you'll find that it trains you to do things more quickly than you could think about them. So it trains these reactions at a level where you will react and then have the thought, like, oh, look what I did, right? So that's kind of what's going on here through the repetition and just the sort of way it trains the nervous system. Let's see what else to say. Let's, a few minutes for this. Let's just stick on this right now and not add the other one in, because then we'll have gloves on both hands. Oh, you're right, you can't grab. So, yeah, try this. Do it each about 10 more times. Did you switch? Yeah, switch. And then we'll talk about the next part. Okay. They roll.
No, they started flaking off a little bit.
To the left leg bends, but the knee doesn't come in. Yeah. Good. Lost the
I wasn't counting.
Okay, that's good. Switch. And same thing here, and the applications will inform your form. So like, you will feel the left leg bend a little bit. Just watch out for that knee coming. Good. All right, very good. Oh, have you heard ting yet? I haven't had to use that. So that's like a school culture thing. I think it just means listen in Chinese, but we say ting, and then everyone just stops what they're doing and says ting back, and it's kind of like to get attention, but also if there's potential like injury about to happen, I'll say like someone's swinging a sword and someone doesn't see it coming, I'll say ting, and everyone will theoretically stop. Does that make sense? Okay. So shall we? Yeah, you want to take those off. Toss them over there. I'll sanitize them after class. Thank you. So before we bow out black sash training, let's imagine what the next part of the application would be like. Okay. So we're here. We've done our commencement. We have the ward off right, which we didn't get hit. We're going to imagine the next part. So we're going to grab at the end. So you're grabbing onto their wrist. You're going to step in closer, shift, and then turn the waist and whack them in the ribs under their arm. Because hold there. Because hold. All right, let's do it again, and I'll show you where it would be. So here we are. First punch. We don't get hit. Grab, step, shift, turn, and hold here. And what's happened is you held onto my arm and opened up the target and struck me in the ribs right here. Does that make sense? Cool. And you did that last class, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's just sort of the idea of the next part. If we can figure out a safe way to do the next part, we'll do that.
It worked well with that. Well, only when there's like two people.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we were experimenting in last class, and I was poking with this. I felt like I was jousting, and I had the shield here, so I was poking, and she was grabbing, and then it worked. You know, it's something. It's something.
It's on the video. You should look it up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have a record of it. Okay, so at the end of black sash training, we do what's called a life skill. It's like a little saying with a motion, with a martial arts motion, and it's just the idea is to take a martial arts concept and apply it to real life. So here we just follow along. It's a lot. So.
Okay.
All right. Path of self-mastery. Oh, it's focused mind too.
Yeah, I know.
Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. And we should do it 3 times. So, path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. One more. Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. Thank you, Bound Beginner students. Black sash training dismissed. Very good.